Hi everyone, so today I have an amazing video and I would be comparing between the ChatGPT 4o image generation, Rev and Ideogram. So these three are one of the topmost models for image generation currently. I love all of these, and with the latest ChatGPT 4o image generation, this is actually going to be a competition for photorealism. So how realistic looking images can you create? This particular video is for that, and I have another video planned coming up for different styles and everything. So don't worry, but in this video I am going to focus mainly on photorealism. And I am using the ChatGPT 4o image generation inside of Sora because I have seen when I am using the ChatGPT to create the images, I get like there is a limit, and after that I have to wait 4 minutes and then I can create again. But I do not have that problem with Sora when I am using the same thing. The model is same, it is the main 4o image generation, so everything is pretty similar, don't worry about it. And I have lots of prompts, so let's get started. So firstly, I have this prompt. So as you can see, and let's do one thing, I would select one image. In Rev I have selected one image, and in Ideogram obviously it creates like 4. I cannot exactly change it, so I'll try to choose the first image. Like I'll try to compare the first image of every image generator. And if you want, you can pause and like look at the full prompt. But it is basically a close-up portrait of a woman's face illuminated by blue tinted light. And then I have given some description of the light, like what kind of patterns it would be creating. There would be shadows and stuff like that, light interaction. There is professional portrait photography, lens, aperture, Kodak Porta, and these kind of things. So for the same, I'll give it here. I'll go to my media. I'll give the same to Rev and the same to Ideogram. Now for the Ideogram, I am using their most advanced 3 and the highest quality possible, that is 6 credits per generation. So I would be using the best possible, so you can compare, like it is a fair comparison. So as you can see that the images are ready. There was one error, so I retried it again, but it is the same prompt. Now if we look closely, you can see this is the same prompt, and this looks actually amazing. So 4o, like OpenAI has literally done an amazing job creating this model. But then if I compare it with Reve, so this is actually crazy. Like I do feel this is slightly better than this, because you can see the skin tones and everything looks so perfect. Now Ideogram, I would say like it has done a very good job, but then again, as I said, I would be comparing the first one. Even if we see all of these, there is some form of like it looks a little bit unrealistic, and the lighting is not as great as this or as like ChatGPT or Rev. So no problem, let's move to the second prompt. And the second prompt that we have, it's basically a photorealistic street fashion photograph of a woman, and then I have given the expression, the outfit, and like she's walking and it is the streets of Venice, so the background and everything. And then again some like a camera and 50 lens, aperture and everything. So again we'll give the same prompt to all 3 of them. And video. Now our images are ready, and this is the one created by ChatGPT, and this looks pretty good. So this looks pretty good. One thing you can say is the depth of field effect is slightly more, but then again, like I do find it pretty good. This one I would say is not that great. So Rev did not do as good as ChatGPT in this particular prompt. So the previous one was better, not this one. And Ideogram, I think in this one, Ideogram has one of the best image generations. If you look at this image versus you look at this image, for me, this looks way more realistic. Now let us come to the third prompt that we have. And this is slightly a bit more complex. A striking couple's portrait featuring a 56-year-old man, and then there is like details about him. He is holding a 22-year-old woman gently by the waist, and then there is details about her outfit and everything. So there is lighting, textures and everything. There is camera, lens, and shallow depth of field, everything. So there are two people and there is an interaction. So let's see who creates more natural interaction. And again the same prompt for all of them. We have all the images ready, and the first one is ChatGPT. So you can see this is perfect, this is what we wanted, but the only thing is that it looks a little bit of like airbrushed painting to me. But other than that, I do not have any other complaints. One major complaint is that the hands, so you can see it is blending. So I don't know where the hand of this woman is going, but it should not exactly be like that. Like, it feels a little bit odd. And let's go to Rev. Now for Rev, we can actually see that it looks very good. I don't know what happened with the background, but it looks very good. The hands are good. This hand is going perfectly, like it is going to his back, and this was the problem with this. So this hand seems like it is going into his sleeves. So like there is a problem with this. This looks pretty better. It looks a little bit more natural too. But here is where I think Ideogram excels, because even if we are comparing with this also has a little bit of that painting effect, but this looks more natural to me with better background. So, and I know I was talking about like comparing just the first image, but if we see all of these, you can see one noticeable problem sometimes it has is with the eyes. It creates good eyes, but Ideogram sometimes like the eyes feel a little bit off. But other than that, you can see the interaction is the most natural. The hand placed on his chest, like it is the most natural interaction. So I would say this is where I felt Ideogram was better, but you can share your own thoughts. And next, let's move to the next one. So the next prompt is a vibrant outdoor photograph. So basically this is a photograph of a woman, right? And then there is outfit. The most interesting part is that there are other men in this image who are doing specific tasks or actions. She is surrounded by 3 men engaged in distinct action. One man is holding an umbrella above her, another is carrying multiple shopping bags, and the third man is standing nearby. So, and gazing at her legs with captivated expression. So there are 3 people, they have their specified task and a woman. Let's see what happens. And then there is obviously like the camera, lens and stuff like that. So firstly we'll give it to ChatGPT, and then we'll come to Rev, and I'll give the same prompt to Rev as well, and Ideogram. Now this is one of the prompts which actually needs better understanding, because there are 4 people actually interacting with each other in some way. Now our images are ready and let's look at them. So this is by ChatGPT, and as you can see, one person, the woman is present there. The person is holding an umbrella, another is holding the shopping box, and the third one is looking probably at her legs. So it actually follows everything that we mentioned in the prompt. So like this is amazing. This is amazing. I know the faces can look a little bit weird, but still like this kind of prompt following is amazing. Now let's look Rev, I would say, did a pretty good job. Like the one person is touching her feet, and this was not in the prompt. I don't know how it came up with that. There is this one guy almost out of frame who is holding the shopping bags, but still, like it's there. And this guy is holding the umbrella. You can see the hand somehow messed up, but this is also a pretty good image in terms of what we wanted with the prompt. Now, this is ideogram. And this has always been a weak point for ideogram, the prompt following. So there is no third person in the image. Both of them are holding shopping bags, whereas one should have been holding it. And no one is actually holding the umbrella. One guy should hold the umbrella. That was the prompt. And in the second one, you can see one guy is holding the umbrella. Two people are holding shopping bags. And even if this guy is looking at the leg is completely messed up. So the leg is going like this, and from here there is another leg. So I don't know what is happening. It is quite weird. But that's the point, that when it comes to, now I would say that this actually looks very good in terms of like photorealism, but the prompt following is not good. So with that being said, let's come to another prompt. And this is so a 1990s kind of photograph, and this is something which I also used previously in Rev, and this is like a woman's collarbone area where there would be a tattoo. So that is what we are trying to see, how well ChatGPT can generate it. So this goes here. We'll give the same prompt to Rev and to ideogram as well. So our images are ready, and as you can see, this is by ChatGPT, and this looks pretty good. Let's come to Rev. This one has to be my favorite. The way it is written and everything looks so perfect. So like this is my favorite. But then again, like ChatGPT did a pretty good job. But for some reason, this looks a little bit more realistic to me. And again, like ideogram is not very good. It seems like it is somehow painted, like it is not realistic at all. Let's come to another, and this one is a fashion photograph in a sun-drenched minimalist apartment hallway featuring a woman with a pixie cut wearing an oversized. So this is basically a fashion photography thing, and let's look at how well ChatGPT can create. I'm pretty sure ChatGPT would actually perform very good, ChatGPT and Rev, in this one. The image generation is complete, and this is by ChatGPT. I would say this is a pretty amazing looking photograph. So this looks really nice. Let's come to Rev. And it is unique. I wouldn't say this is exactly a fashion photography. It would have been a composition, something like this. But then again, due to some reason, the lighting feels so natural. The sunlight is so natural in this image. So this looks a little bit artificial when compared with this. And then we have ideogram. And if you look very finely, other than the eyes, everything is pretty good. So ideogram does a good job in these kind of images. Again, the sunlight looks very realistic, very natural, but it kind of messes up the eyes a little bit. Like you can feel there is something off, but not exactly what it is. But then again, like it is pretty good. Now let's go to food photography and try something different that we have not tried till now. So what I'll do is, I'll try this prompt. A sizzling chicken, glistening with juices, rests on Himalayan salt block. And then there is a hand sprinkling salt over it. And then there is like a text, crave worthy. The scene is lit and there is lighting and everything. And so let's try this one. So firstly with ChatGPT. We have Rev and Ideogram. Let's see. So our images are ready. Let's look at the ChatGPT. And this looks pretty good. There is sprinkling of salt on the chicken and whatever we wanted, like Himalayan salt slab, crave worthy. This looks pretty good. Let's come to Rev. And again, like this is very realistic. This looks very good. The text looks a little bit better here, but then again, like this is pretty realistic. Let's come to Ideogram. And I think Ideogram also did a very good job. Now I do not know if the crystals of salt should be that big. But the thing is, these two have similar composition. So the hand is coming from the right side and you can see both of them have similar composition. Ideogram has completely different composition. If you look at the others, it does have completely different composition. The hands do not look as realistic, but for the first image, I think this looks good. This looks good. This is not exactly like this texture is not exactly of Himalayan rock salt. But then again, like these two are pretty good. Again, my favorite would be Rev because of the texture you can see of this slab. If you want to compare, if you compare this slab with this is a little bit more realistic. But then again, all of them have done an amazing job. And let's come to the last one. That is, this is a young woman and there is description about her. The best part that I have done here is basically this, So add ringing artifacts around high contrast edges, include luminous noise in low light areas. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mimic what happens with smartphone images. So highlight clipping in backlit scenes, AI enhanced details that appear processed, ensure the overall look mimics smartphone photograph. So let's see how well ChatGPT can replicate it. So the idea is to make it similar to a smartphone photo. We are not exactly looking for the perfect photo. So, and we'll do the same thing with Rev as well. So with Rev and then Ideogram. And now let's see what happens. So the images are ready. This one you can see is pretty good and you can visibly see the film grain and the noise. If you look very closely, there are artifacts that you can see. So ChatGPT actually did a pretty good job. I loved it. It followed the prompt very beautifully. You can see in these areas where there is shadow, there is like more grain. So this looks pretty good. So due to some reason there are these fine lines and I do not know whether this is produced by some kind of low-end smartphones or not, but in general it tried very well. Let's see Rev. Now Rev was also good, but then again, if you look at this image, I'm pretty sure you would not guess that this has been taken by a smartphone, because the noise levels and the shadows, like this looks a little bit more professional than what smartphone photography should be. So this is it. Now Ideogram, I do not know what happened here, right? So it completely like I don't know what this is, what is the problem, but it completely messed up. And if we look at the last two images, these look good. I would say like everything is pretty good and it's good. But then again, I am not getting what I wanted with the noise and the low quality textures, because the whole idea was not this actually looks good, this looks better than this, but then again this follows the prompt more beautifully, and we have those grains and everything that we see on smartphones, which in this looks like a DSLR photography. And Rev is also good. And one thing again, that they like two of the images were completely messed up. What Ideogram understood, I do not know. But then here you can see basically the style is when you choose general, it creates the head like this. But when the style is realistic, the last two are realistic, it creates this one. So in realistic it is good, but in general it completely messes up. So in this one I would give the points to ChatGPT. So this was it for this video, and let me know which one you liked the best out of these three. And if you have any kind of doubts or questions, put it in the comment section below and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Thank you.